absolutely want to thank all my friends, Mike's friends and family for attending Liz and Mike's wedding on this special day. For anyone in this room that doesn't know me, I'm Mike as well. I'm sure there's at least 10 other Mikes in here. For anyone out there planning to name your child Mike, please don't. Now, I would like to begin by complimenting the bride and bridesmaids as well. Every one of you look absolutely stunning and gorgeous. As for Mike and the groomsmen, we tried our best. The suits don't do well hiding our flaws. So I'm the best man. I think I got this role by default, as Tacoma doesn't really have any other friends. I didn't want to do it, but who would turn down being driven around in a fancy limo and get the chance to have all the free food and drinks and lobster tails paid for by Tacoma? I couldn't risk turning this gig down. I actually love public speaking. Not really, I hate it. Mike knows I hate it too. I really think he's been building this comeback for years. Probably for the time me and his brother, Jerry, taped him to a bed while he was sleeping and woke him up with super soakers. I'm sure you remember that. Or for all the times I pulled his chair out in front, right from under you. Plenty of times I did that. Page 2. Or it could be from the time I poured hot sauce in your mouth while you were sleeping in a deep snore. That didn't end very well. Maybe he's getting back at me for putting extra strength hair removal in his shampoo this morning. If you haven't caught on to that one, you might want to check your hair right now. Now, although I tortured Mike for the past 26 years, he's got me good a few times as well. Actually, I don't really remember any prank you've done to me lately. Is it because you feel bad for me because I'm balding too? No, you're probably just not very well at pulling pranks. But although I might be the funny guy in this relationship, Mike is certainly the most wise and most driven to succeed, hands down. He also has a very strong heart to care for others. I'm sure all Mike's friends and family here could agree with that. He also has great confidence and can do anything he puts his mind to. I don't recall anything Mike has failed at. When you discovered what you wanted to do when you went to school, you chose to go in the medical field for vascular sonography. Before you know it, Mike scored a job in the medical field. Oh, hold on. And now he's a lead vascular sonographer for his boss's practice. When anyone at his practice needs a hand, they call Mike. It's only a matter of time before he has his own practice. But you have done many stupid things when we're younger. I'm sure you have this engraved in your mind for the rest of eternity. But do you remember when we were walking your dog through the Mud Hole Park in Nutley on a winter day and you thought it would be a great idea to walk across the frozen pond? My instinct kicked in, and I just waited on the side of the pond while Mike tried to cross. Mike was probably only a few feet away from crossing when he decided to jump off the ice onto the bank of the mud hole. But instead, when he wound up to jump, he fell through the ice and was knee-deep in ice-cold water. The worst part is, we didn't have cell phones when we were 10 years old, and we had to walk about 2 miles back to your dad's house in the freezing cold. His pants literally froze to his skin, and being the jerk friend that I am, I laughed at him the whole time. While we walked to his house in extreme agony, the dog was fine. The dog didn't fall through, so. Poor Fifi. Now, when I look back and think of that day as a grown-up, I generally feel bad for laughing. But he got the last laugh because he laughs every time he sees my shiny bald head. He just keeps rubbing it in that he kept a full head of hair and that I'm follically challenged. Mike is truly the best friend I could ever have. Me and as well as my family have so much trust and respect for Mike that I consider him a brother. My grandparents saw him like a grandson. My parents see him like a son, just as they did with me. My brother and sister see him just like a brother. My Aunt Gail, who's actually here, sees him like a nephew. Where are you, Aunt Gail? You're out there. There you are. This is what happens when a friend is always by your side since the age of 4, all the way up to adulthood and beyond. He was actually my first friend, and we both remember vividly the day we both became friends. You were with your brother Jerry. You were playing with a pogo stick in front of my house, and you came up and introduced yourself, and we started playing with micro machines, and then we started ripping up my dad's backyard with Tonka trucks. Well, that actually became a daily thing for about the next 10 years through the early 90s. That was 26 years ago, Mike. And once you met your lovely future wife, Liz, I had no one else to play with Tonka trucks with, and I had to grow up as well. I'm definitely going to miss the things we used to do when we were young, dumb, and reckless. Like the time we both got our first good paying job selling male enhancement products. You know what? That's not a good story to tell at a wedding. Or the time we topped out our sport bikes on the turnpike. You know, I shouldn't disclose that speed we hit. My dad's here. He's not going to like that story. How about the time we're at your bachelor party weekend bash? We tried drinking our heightened beer as fast as we can, but you probably don't remember much anyway because you passed out at 4 p.m. on that booze-filled Saturday. Now it's time to talk about Mike's beautiful soulmate. Before I knew Liz, Mike kept raving about this new girl. Now, before seeing her, I tried to think of a way Mike can describe her, this new girl he's talking to. Me and Mike have a deep obsession with cars. So I said, okay, Mike, describe this new girl you're talking to as if she was a car. He quickly responded, Ferrari. She's like a Ferrari. She has great lines and curves. She's fast and turns heads even faster, but I can only afford to take her out every now and then. I remember the first time I personally met Liz was when he brought her hiking and cliff diving with us in Dingman's Ferry. And I could tell you Mike was right. She was definitely a Ferrari. Now, Mike, you know how I knew you really had a thing for her? Because you were just jumping off the highest cliff at the spot. That cliff that no one but professionals jump from. You jump from a 50-foot cliff to show off and impress her. When I witnessed you do something absolutely fearless and stupid to impress someone you love, I knew you really had a thing for Liz. Somehow you jumping off a cliff worked because you never left each other's sides. That's not a very generic way to attract your soulmate, but you made it happen. Fast forward a few years, and here we are today to celebrate the next chapter of a strong, loving bond and to witness Mike and Liz unite in marriage. Oh, I almost spilled that. Mike, I sincerely want to let you know it's been a real honor to have been chosen to be your best man on the most special day of both your lives. It reflects the fact that we've had some of the most unforgettable times together, and that you're the best friend that I could ever ask for. Now, Mike and Liz, before I finish, I'd like you to turn face to face to each other.
Wait, do it.
You know what you're looking at, other than just the love of your life? You're now looking into the eyes of the person who is statistically most likely to murder you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a toast to the new Mr. and Mrs. Tacoma. I give you the bride and groom. Your turn.
Beef was beautiful.
Yeah, he
I
kept
really
running.
put hair removal on the shampoo.
He kept running in different rooms.
He's got really strong hair. He's got really strong hair.
Beef was beautiful.